Hi, Rory Holiday here, the physiotherapist. We're going to be looking at a couple of exercises here, basic recruitment exercises for the shoulder. I say recruitment, rotator cuff recruitment exercises. They're going to be closed chain exercises, so they're normally seen as quite sort of early stage rehab exercises. It can be that. We're going to make them a little bit harder as well. So we're going from basic to intermediate here, and we don't need any equipment for this. So all I'm going to be doing is using my bed. You can do this on the floor, and give yourself a little bit of a challenge here of testing one side compared to the other. Even if you've no history of pain or dysfunction here, you might notice there's a bit of a weakness between, or a difference between right and left. So without further ado, we're going to be jumping onto the bed. And first exercise, 4-point kneeling. First thing we're going to think of here is keeping the chest lifted up nice and high. So I'm thinking of trying to push my hands into the floor. Hands are at shoulder width apart, wrists underneath my shoulders. I'm going to imagine I have a grapefruit tucked under my chin, so the back of the neck is nice and flat. And all I'm going to do is gently sway forwards and backwards. Now a little bit of imagery or imagination is useful here. Imagine you have a big tray of drinks on your back. You are not going to spill a drop. You keep that in place, forwards and backwards, 10 repetitions. Now we're going to go side to side. Bring the hips with you. Remember, we've got that tray of drinks. Do not spill a drop. And I'm thinking about that chest staying lifted as I come across towards you, because it wants to drop down. And the shoulder blade starts to slide in a slightly different way when we do that. So keep that chest lifted, gentle sway from side to side, just using the least amount of effort you need to make that happen. And we go with 10 repetitions of that. Now if you wanted to challenge this idea a little bit more, imagine a diagonal line now between one knee and the opposite hand, and basically we're going to move through that line. So we can slide through there, backwards, forwards, keeping that chest lifted all of the time. And again, we go in the opposite direction with that diagonal. Fantastic. So that's nice and easy. Okay. Use that as a bit of a warm-up if you need to, and then we're going to go into arm lifts, or sort of Superman arms if you like. So I'm going to think about that tray of drinks staying in place as I lift one hand and just raise it there, holding for 2 or 3 seconds, slowly back down, keeping that chest lifted as you put weight back on it, and go with the other side, and start to get an idea how well does one side feel compared to the other. Okay, so far so good. These are quite basic, nice and easy to do. Very unlikely to be any provocative factors here. You might just notice you're a little weaker on one side compared to the other. To step this up a little bit now, we're going to go into side lying, or into a side bend position. Now if you've had pain, or you've currently got pain in the shoulder, you might find this uncomfortable. So don't do it if it's painful, basically. If you can manage it comfortably, give it a go and see how it goes. So we're going to have elbow underneath the shoulder. Forearm coming straight away. I've got my knees bent out in front of me. My feet, hips and shoulders are in a straight line. And all I'm going to do is a Pilates side bend. So I'm going to lift my hips up, bring my hips forward whilst bearing a little bit more weight through that shoulder. Okay? And then I take my hips down and back. So my shoulder has to deal with my body weight going through it first, lifting that rib cage up. And I'm going to feel like I'm pushing my elbow down into the floor as much as I can as I lift that hip and waist up. So I don't feel like I'm dropping my shoulder down and my ear is going down to my shoulder. I'm trying to push away as much as I can. Hold for 2 or 3 seconds. Slowly down and back with the hips. Forwards and up with the hips. Down and back with the hips. Okay. Keeping that spine in a nice straight line all the way through. Breathing throughout. Now this is a harder exercise, so I wouldn't do quite as many. Maybe looking at something like 6 to 8 repetitions, ease off, and then I do the same on the other side. Okay, so there's some basic to intermediate closed chain exercises. Always be guided by pain with these things. So pain might come on whilst you're doing the exercise. If it does and you find that it's uncomfortable to continue, then you stop. If things are settled down easily within 24 hours, or it's only just momentarily whilst you're doing it, it's worth repeating over a consecutive few days just to see if it gets a little bit easier. But if pain is a barrier to it, then please don't push through it. Okay, see how you go with those, and we'll look at some other exercises moving forward. Thank you. Bye-bye.